Hi, welcome back to a bit of a different episode today of the WedPro podcast. I am Katie,
Hey,
although I don't think I sound like Katie today. Very, very tired voice. And Roxy, as always, is with me.
good morning, good
You
evening,
sound a
good
lot more
afternoon.
chirpy.
I know, like all will become.
You sound a lot more awake than
My voice might be here, but my brain is still in London, and we're gonna have a chat about what we've been up to
I'm so
recently.
sorry for anyone watching this on YouTube
You
because
definitely sound like we didn't even drink, and you sound hungover. Yeah, I'm
I always
chirpy.
do. Like if there we go, I found my Sprite. I always do if I'm sleep deprived. I get like a hangover and I don't drink. Like, yeah, it's crazy. Anyway,
Welcome.
um, welcome. We had a bit of an amazing, wonderful, totally different day yesterday, and we wanted to share with you kind of what went on for us, where we were, and also just some kind of things that we picked up and some
Yeah,
lessons and the thoughts that we had kind of on the day.
it's nice to share these things with you. I feel real chirpy. Like I feel really grateful to be able to have done what we
Yeah,
did yesterday.
yeah, it was amazing. Okay, so if you followed our stories, and we will put more on today, yesterday was absolute chaos, so we didn't have a lot of time, but we obviously have got a lot of footage. We were invited back to the King's Trust Awards, formerly known as the Prince's Trust. We were invited back to the King's Trust to come and support and
Mhm.
cheer on and be there for their 2025 cohort of young people and winners of the Trust Awards this year in 2025. So that involved an amazing award ceremony, red carpet, after party. Definitely, there was music, there was dancing,
And
there
there
was
was booze, so
there,
yeah.
yeah, definite party. I mean, and then a hellish train back ride from London with
Hella train, hella
every
journey back.
every train cancelled in the whole of London Euston Station, which was interesting, and hence why I sound so sleep deprived. But it was such an inspirational, wonderful day. Yes, it's really lovely to be able to be back from looking at it from a different side because
Mhm.
obviously, and for those of you that don't know and maybe new listeners of the pod, we have been involved with the trust for a long time now, since sort of 2016, 2017. And since then, we've supported them. So back in 2017, I won the National Enterprise Award, NatWest Enterprise Award through the King's Trust,
Round
and
of applause.
Roxy came with me as part of my team for the work in the kind of bridal shop that I did. And and when I opened my bridal business, I'd had this kind of thought as to what I wanted to do. I wanted to get back into the wedding industry. I wanted to get back into business. I wanted to go into the wedding industry. That was kind of my idea. Had this idea in terms of affordable wedding dresses and have always loved a business and things like that. And Roxy very early on was part of the team in that shop and then helping us to build that brand and build that business into what it was. And then that really was the start of our journey into kind of doing what we do
Yeah.
now. Absolutely,
Hmm.
really. But kind of behind the scenes, what else was going on, and really what we want to talk to you about today, really, is that my purpose and my mission, although that's just sound cheesy, but my purpose and really the mission was bigger. That kind of drive inside me was, yes, okay, on the front of things, we're a bridal shop, but behind the kind of scenes of that, in terms of the wedding business, what I stood for, aside from quality and everything that was kind of going on in the shop and the principles of the shop, were really helping other women get back into work, education, and training. And after being out of work for a while I had my children and really finding it a struggle to get back into work and finding that struggle myself and thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to start my own business here because there's just nothing. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing. I want to be able to work and I want to be able to contribute. And I want my children to see I didn't want to be somebody that was kind of stuck out of work for a really long length of time. And although really in the scheme of it, my children were my son was starting reception school, my daughter was at an age where she could go to nursery. in the scheme of kind of their life, I was at home for such a tiny amount of time, really. But actually, at that time, I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel driven. And as wonderful as it is to be a mum, I felt like something was missing and I wanted to be able to go back into work.
I
And
used to say that I used to feel like, oh, just a mum.
just a mum,
I'm
yeah,
just a mum. And when I came to start working for you, that's exactly how I felt. And coming to work for you, you literally changed my life
so
because
lovely. That's
you
so
gave me
lovely to see.
confidence. You gave me that chance, that opportunity to be more than just a mum. And
And
that.
that's really lovely to hear because that's what on the days where things
Mhm.
and you look back and you think, okay, what am I proud of? Yes, I'm proud that we built a multi six-figure business and then that has led us into this business and we've done some amazing things. Yes, I'm proud that we chatted to Amal and George Clooney and we've been
George Clooney.
George Clooney and we've been recognised on stage with the King. We've met the King, we've been to some amazing stuff, we've
Yeah.
been to the House of Lords, we've done all of this amazing stuff. But actually, as nice as that stuff is and as grateful as I am for that, the stuff that gives me the feels is things like that you
Mhm.
say to me, that purpose, as in what I wanted to do was give women opportunities. And that was the opportunity I gave you because I know you won't mind me saying this, but you didn't have any experience, you
No.
didn't have any qualifications, you'd not worked for a while. But what I saw in you was like, I want to work.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
and that was the
I'm willing
same.
to do whatever I need to do to
And
get
that
to
was the
where.
same, yeah. And that was the same with me. And I think you'd been through that experience as well and felt exactly the same as I'd felt, as in, oh, what now? Like, I've had the kids,
Mm,
what now? And you were ready to go back into work, but struggling as well to find
yeah.
something meaningful or that you enjoyed to do that worked around your family and around your children. And what I wanted to do was be able to build a business that gave other people opportunities that maybe they wouldn't have got elsewhere. So we didn't just stop with me and you. We hired other staff, we gave other girls and amazing training
Hmm.
and experiences as well.
Who have now gone on to do other amazing things.
And even set up their own businesses,
Yeah, which
which
is,
is
I love that.
so amazing. And this is the stuff that actually is not as honestly as nice as it is. And my
Mhm.
family aren't phased by stuff like this anymore. But my brothers rang me this morning. I was like, oh, how was it? I actually feel better from this stuff. This is the stuff that's like, oh my God, this is so nice. And it really warms my heart. But here we go. Here's the lesson. Like even now, 6 years on coaching, I still feel like kind of pull in terms of helping other businesses reclaim confidence, reclaim income. And what I wanted to kind of, and we wanted to come and talk to you about today was kind of some of the things and the reminders of the stories that we heard yesterday in terms of your purpose and really digging deep and finding that purpose for you inside of your business and that why behind your business. How can you weave that into your story and into your brand as well? And one of the things, and it happened all day, didn't it? Like, we were asked, there was thousands and thousands and thousands of people there. I think easily 4,000
Yeah.
guests in the audience, weren't there? And then there was obviously people from the trust, and then we were on the carpet as well, being able to kind of film that and chat to people as they came through and chat to the celebrity ambassadors as they came through. Who was the standout person for you, Roxy, as we kind of go onto that moment for a second?
Oh, there
Who
was
was the
so
who was the
many.
surprise?
Who
Who
was
was
this?
who was a nice surprise?
I love Joanna Lumley. Like I just love her. Big
You were
massive,
proper starstruck with Joanna Lumley,
like
actually.
big massive fan. I love her all of her travel programs. I love what she stands for. I love. Oh, she's just a force, and I'm like Joanna. I kept
Every
thinking
time
like,
she
what am I
spoke,
gonna
Roxy
say?
was like,
What am I gonna say? What am I gonna say?
Roxy was just like, oh my word, I just love her. I just
But
love Joanna.
you, my love, you were like, oh, there's so and so, they've done this, there's that person, they've done that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to talk to a few people in terms of just some of the amazing stuff that they've done outside of being
yes.
a celebrity. Rochelle Humes is
Mm-hmm.
doing amazing stuff in terms of her podcast, but not only does she have a podcast for ladies who launch, and I didn't get long enough to say this to her because it was just such a blip and such a fast. And even though, because we didn't know who was going to turn up, did we?
No.
So we knew that there were going to be people there, and we've done this before, so we knew that they have big names kind of come on the day. But we didn't know until like they were round the corner and we were like, oh, like it's Michelle and Marvin Humes, like amazing.
No.
Um, and I did get to say, oh, your podcast is really inspiring. It's really great for female founders. It's really great for founders. But I didn't know if you knew this as well. She also does organized walks and organized communities for women in business.
Did not know that, no.
And one of the things we're constantly saying, isn't it, is in terms of like tap into that community. And another
Mhm.
thing that we love to do in terms of, yes, with the Wedding Business Hub, with WedCon, with our programs, WebPro CEO and the other, and even with this podcast, the WebPro podcast, it's about bringing a community together where people feel like they belong
Like
and
they're
can
part
find,
of something.
yeah, and can find friends and can find common ground. And being in business can be super, super lonely. So yeah, I wanted to talk to her about that. Kate Garraway is doing some amazing stuff in terms of
Carers.
carers. Yeah, carers. So yeah, there was a few people that I was like, yes, you're a celebrity, but you're also a person,
Mhm.
and you're doing.
And that's the thing to remember. We like celebs, they get remembered for being a celebrity, but they are doing good work out there
Yeah,
and
Sam
raising the
Thompson
profile of
is.
some really important issues.
Yeah, and Sam Thompson not only outside of their kind of, I mean, he's doing everything, isn't he? So he's doing a lot of things. There's Sam Thompson from Made in
In
Chelsea. He's also,
Chelsea.
you probably
The
know him
King of the Jungle.
from Winning the King. Yeah, Winning the Jungle. I'm a Celebrity Jungle, and he also does the radio, doesn't he? He's on
He's on Hits Radio.
Hits Radio. Yeah,
I
Hits
think he does the
Radio.
weekend.
He's also set up an app very recently, an entrepreneur app for creatives to kind of connect with influencers. So yeah, so much kind of business. And even though we were there to support,
Hmm.
there was so much entrepreneurship I found this year,
Yes.
not just from the NatWest Enterprise Award, and that was the award that I was very fortunate enough to win in 2018, but actually that came through in a lot of other stories and a lot of other awards as well. There was the boys that had set up a social enterprise. I
They
think
warmed my heart so much.
it was
I
so
loved it.
lovely.
They were
Their
amazing.
little friendship as well.
Yeah.
Wasn't it nice? And then there was the amazing girl who'd built beads and she
Yeah,
was
because
using
the King's Trust doesn't just support young people in the UK, they are international, they are global, and they help young people all around the world, which
yeah, and she was able to put her brother
siblings
and
through
sister,
school.
yeah, through school from setting up an enterprise through the King's Trust. And that then gave, yes, she's got this business, but underneath that, there's so much more purpose as well.
Yeah, there's the drive and that passion to succeed, not just for her, but for like things that are really important to her. I love talking to Sam, and I think kind of what he was saying to us, and we'll get onto that in a minute, is about making getting into work, running your own business accessible for everybody. Doesn't matter, like, and that's what
And
my passion is.
leaning into your superpower.
Yeah,
Let's
definitely,
let
yeah.
Sam tell you about that.
There's a guy called Taylor I'm giving an award out today who has ADHD, and he's one of the most inspirational kids that I've ever met. And I think he's coming very, very shortly. But he's got ADHD and he's just flying. And so if that isn't an inspiration for all of us in the universe.
Isn't he just amazing? Thank you, Sam.
So much energy. And he loves a hug, apparently.
Oh, he loves a
Loves
hug.
a hug.
I was like, oh, he smells so good as well.
It was not amazing. Okay, let's talk about Brandon, who was the winner of the NatWest Enterprise Award this year.
They saved the best award till last, didn't they?
Yeah, Brandon from All Things Dotty. So Brandon had an amazing story, like so many of the people yesterday, and I really want you to listen to this podcast this week. And we're trying really hard. Actually, we're not even trying at all to not name drop, are we? We're more excited about the stories of the people that were there. But I'm sure we'll get around to posting some stuff on our stories, and
Yeah, we'll whack a reel together.
and we'll whack something at the end in terms of like a few of the other people we were fortunate enough to chat to yesterday and to hang out with all day. But Brandon from All Things Dotty is another trust setup business, and he's visually impaired, but he's built an entire sustainable enterprise around that. So people like him, and I was really moved by his story actually, and I was like, good for you. And actually, it shocks me all the time that we get to this point. We
Like
get
we're
to 2025.
2025 and this is still a
Still a thing. And it actually was a reminder that there's always more that we can do. So he has built a business. I think it started with birthday cards, didn't it? But then actually it's really spanned out to not just be birthday cards, but items for businesses. He even does, and I was so touched by this. So he prints menus in Braille, he prints birthday cards in Braille, and in his own words, he said, like, why shouldn't he be able to sit at the table and read the menu like
It
everyone
gives
else?
me goosebumps. It
It's
just
so special. But one of the things that I just thought, oh my God, that's really touched me was the Braille print of his mum and dad.
his picture.
Yeah, so he had a Braille print of his mum and dad, and I just thought, oh my word, like that's really touching. And actually, wow, like that I didn't even think that, like that, oh my word, yeah, like the challenges that people kind of go into and that personal adversity that he's
Yeah.
felt and that, struggle, not in terms of, and this is said all of the time, it's not their disability that's the struggle, but actually it's the things that aren't helping them to be accessible and the things the world isn't set up to be supportive. And he was amazing, amazing. And I just thought it gives, and actually I did say it loud enough, I hoped, for a few influential ears to hear around me, that every business should be taking note in terms of how they can make things in their business more accessible.
But without it being a thing, just as part of your
Yeah,
business,
yeah.
without it being like, oh, look what we like. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be in a way that's un
Unaligned.
unaligned. There's the word. There's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
I really loved his story.
yeah, it needs to be and it was just a really great reminder actually of, again, grit, amazing opportunity, and that he wanted to change something because he didn't want other people to kind of go through what he'd gone through. And there was the young winner as well, who not only said big up King Charles, which, yes, big up King Charles, but he also said, when asked by Ant and Dec, what advice would you give to other people, and what advice would you give to other people who maybe want to do something more with their life, whether it's more education, more training, get back in, start a business, maybe just take that next leap, whatever that is. And he said, and I'm not doing this justice at all, his words were amazing, but he basically said, you need to put yourself out there and you need to take risks because you don't know where they're going to take you.
Take the opportunity.
And that really, really resonated with me, because exactly the same way, I was so very near not starting my business at all. I had a massive, massive wobble.
You did, didn't you? I remember you telling me this stuff.
Yeah, I had a massive, massive wobble about a month before I was applying for funding, which is how I got involved with the then Princess Trust, the King's Trust now. I was applying for funding and I had this massive wobble of like, what if I can't make it work? What if I've got rent to pay and I want to hire staff? I want to make this bigger than just me and this little bridal shop. I want to make this bigger. But all this self-doubt came in. And I did take a risk, and like, look where that has got me now. I absolutely love my job.
Fuels my soul. And I feel the same. If I would not, so when I saw your job advertisement on old Facey B,
on Facey B,
I was just drawn to it, right? Because I'd already been thinking for a while, like, I feel like I'm just a mum. Like I feel like I'm drowning in nothingness. I'm bored. Like my brain.
I feel like that's really important, because we're not saying like that's because it's the hardest freaking job in the world, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's hard. It's relentless.
It's really, really, really hard, and probably
but it's also lovely and rewarding and amazing and a privilege. And we do love being mums and we do love being parents. But I think
I felt like I was
missing
like,
something
in my house, looking out of the window. Like I feel like I'm missing out. Like there's more. There's surely more to this than just that part of me. Like,
and it's fine for people that
work.
It's absolutely fine if you want to stay at home and that's you and that's what you want to do. That's fine. We're not saying that at all.
But My point is here, if I would not have just taken that risk without, I didn't know how I was going to get to that job every day. I did not know. And I was like, do you know what? We'll figure it out as we go. And actually that served me well in the whole of my life since that point. But I would not be where I am today here at all without first of just going, I'm going to take the opportunity with both hands, and who knows where it's going to lead me. And yesterday it led me being stood near Joanna Lumley and George Clooney and a million other amazing celebrities that I just can't remember the names of right now.
Gareth Southgate. We had a nice little chat with Rochelle Humes, Marvin Humes, Marvin O'Doom was DJing. We were dancing to Marvin.
The incredible girl from Strictly.
Tasha Gordy.
Yes, Molly from The Traitors.
Molly, Conor Maynard.
Maynard.
We're definitely just like name dropping right now, aren't we?
Gotta be done.
But my daughter was hilarious this morning. I don't know if yours was. So I text my daughter, especially with like some of the people that I didn't really know, thinking, oh, it'll be someone she maybe knows. But I thought I'll send her some of the more famous people.
Yeah.
She didn't even text me back. And I was like, did you get my messages? Yeah. And by the time we got home, because my word, there was a problem on the trains, wasn't there?
The trains were not training.
No, they were not. So at one point we were like, okay, we're going to be stuck in London, but so is everybody else. So is the whole of London going to be stuck in London.
I felt, okay, so let's just get to the story. Okay, so after the event, we headed back to the train station, and we got there. It was bedlam.
No trains.
And we actually came up with a plan really, really quick. From the guy we spoke to on the train that was like, well, I stood in Euston Station for 2 hours. We were only there like 10 minutes figuring a plan, bash, off we went. But people were stranded. You could hear people on the phones being like, I don't know, I'm going to go.
I actually thought, for the people that say that, I mean, everyone was travelling up north, so maybe not. But for people that say like, people aren't so friendly, I think they are. And we've mentioned this in the podcast before, haven't we? About like, I think if you smile and your body language is nice and open, the conversations that you have. I mean, we were talking
to so many people.
Yeah, even just coming home. We were speaking to a corporate investment banker on the way back, and I was like, I could do some work with you, like on the way back. But yeah, my daughter had kind of not messaged me, and the fact that I was very late home as well, and she had to stay with her friend. I mean, she was having the time of her life, like just danced till past 11 o'clock at night. She was loving it, but she was like, yeah, I didn't know any of them. I said, did you? But she said, I said, would you like to come with me another time? And she was like, yeah. I said, but you don't know any of them. She's like, so. But did your daughter? Did she?
She was excited that we'd seen the Matilda girls.
Yes, the girls from Matilda.
Yeah, and she was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And all I've heard is her sing that song because I recorded that section. She was like, I love this song. But no, my family didn't even care. Didn't even get a text message. No one cares.
No, same.
Same. Kind of like it like that though. I'm able to do these things now because once upon a time, wouldn't have been able to. So thank you, Universal, for providing this opportunity.
It was amazing.
And then the moral of this podcast.
If you want kind of like another little story and a little kind of just, we've spoken about manifesting before, and we are absolutely massive believers in that it's not just about the woo, you have to do as well. But there is a mindset, isn't there, about having a positive mindset, saying yes to opportunities, being open to receiving opportunities. And I think there's a part of just being connected to your goals and being connected to where you want to go in your business means you'll look in the right places and you'll speak to the right people. And since we used to do quite a lot of work with the trust, we've done women supporting women campaigns. I've spoken for some amazing companies, Apple, Deloitte. I've gone into businesses. We've mentored young people. We've gone and helped them build their new version of their enterprise program. There's so much stuff that we've been able to do. And then COVID came along, and life is life, doesn't it? And we haven't been able to do as many opportunities as we wanted to. And it was something that when we were speaking about our business sort of last year, we were saying, right, okay, what do we want in the business, but also what do we want aside of the business, and what do we want to do in terms of kind of any things that we want to get involved in. And we've spoken about mental health in business before, haven't we? And that definitely is a cause that we do a lot of awareness around and a lot of things kind of privately around that as well. But one of the things that we both said was we want to be able to, we feel like we're able to give a little bit more back to
Yeah.
the trust this year. And then
A lot of stuff that just makes me feel really fulfilled.
yeah, it does. It's really fulfilling and quite and the nice part of it, I think. And yes, it's lovely to be there. Of course, it's lovely to be there. But actually,
The purpose
the purpose
runs
and the
deeper.
it really does. It really makes me proud. And actually, it's the stuff that I do hope one day my kids are like, oh my God, my mum did that. And that was absolutely freaking amazing. And she came from wherever she came from and like and in some small way be an inspiration, not an inspiration, is that the right word? But I want somebody to be able to go, oh my God, this woman faced quite a lot, but she still got up and did it
Yeah.
and was able to make a life for herself despite some things being constantly thrown and you as well and things in life and yeah.
I what I find really like incredible is every single person that we spoke to yesterday, they had a story. Like might have been different to our story, might have been like the same.
And different passions.
Yeah, like but you've just got to have a bit of grit, some drive, some motivation to get yourself to where you want to be. And I actually do believe, and Brandon said this actually, like you can do you can do whatever you want to do. It is possible. You've just got to carve your path out and keep putting one foot in front of the other, and
No,
you
I
can
think
get
that's
there. Like I always think if I can be successful, any person can.
not if you could. But yes, I get what you mean. But
From
yeah, but you are
where
an
I've
amazing
come
person
from,
anyway.
yeah.
But yeah, if I just get back to the story in terms of kind of how we then ended up back kind of coming back to the trust, it was kind of a little bit about like accident, wasn't it? A little bit of an accident, but it's been on my vision board since last year when we said I'm now
Yeah.
sat here with my King's Trust ambassador's badge. But I we haven't done so much for so long. It's nice to be back doing that thing that we like and the universe, call it whatever you want, call it the universe, call it purpose, call it us hitting our goal. What an amazing day and what an amazing experience. And
Yeah.
also it's possible for you as well. Like the energy was amazing. I think some things as well, like it wasn't just how amazing the day was, but actually how inspiring in terms of ideas for us and ideas for us going forward. And it did fuel a ton of ideas for WedCon, didn't it?
It did.
We were sat there going, oh,
Oh,
this would be amazing for WedCon. Oh, this would be amazing for WedCon. And there's a few things that we've definitely got our eye on and a few conversations that we had yesterday that have definitely sparked some kind of things going forward in the future.
watch this space.
But yeah, I think getting into like just getting out of your comfort zone a little bit, not overthinking it, like these to think even would you have imagined you'd be having a conversation with and actually I'm in awe of Amal Clooney, by the way. She is a boss. Like she's an
Powerhouse lady.
absolute inspiration. Charlotte Tilbury's an inspiration.
I love her. Darlings.
Darling, darling,
Darlings.
darling. Yeah, she's amazing. But could you have imagined, and then if you had imagined, and I'd said to Roxy 10 years ago, you'd be having a conversation with the Clooneys, you'd be like, excuse me,
Shut out.
what?
Be like,
Excuse me,
shut
what?
the front door, man. And this is what I mean. Back to the if I can do it, anyone can. We all have challenges and trials, and you get two choices. You can sit there, or you can try and make a change for yourself. And dip. I feel I've like put my head above the surface, and I'm like,
Of the
oh
comfort zone.
yes, and I'm like, okay, up here there are so much more possibilities than keeping yourself down here safe and small. So biggest like takeaway from me is do that thing that might feel a little bit scary. Have that conversation with that person. Like go for it.
Yeah, and really take a minute to connect with your why as well. And probably your why is like ours, so much more than just your business and how you can really connect with that. And maybe we've sparked some ideas about how you can take that a little bit further forward today. Thank you so much for sticking with us through this crazy episode.
And through this
we'll be
name drop.
we'll be back to normal service. We'll resume next week.
Yes.
If you have loved this episode, and maybe if you're a new listener, hello, lovely to have you here. Do hit follow so that you never miss an episode of the WedPro podcast, and do share it with a wedding industry friend that you may know who might just need a reminder or might just need a little bit of help going forward in their business to get to their purpose and get to what they want to be inside of their business as well. We are massive supporters of business, aren't we, Roxy? Which is what took us to the King's Award yesterday as well.
It was. Thanks for putting up with the name drops, and we'll see you.
And for listening. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.